Hello everyone, welcome on into today's video. In today's topic, we will be discussing some crazy canceled Marvel movies that many people don't know about or know a lot of details about. Make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get right onto it. The Amazing Spider-Man vs. Spider-Man. After the disappointing box office performance of The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Sony tried to find easy ways to make money. One of their ideas was to bring back Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and put him up against Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, setting up a fight between the two. Executives and producers greenlit the film in late 2014, but they didn't plan on releasing it until 2020, 6 years later. They wanted to build up to the film by making an Amazing Spider-Man 3 and 4, as well as Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 4 before the two would eventually cross over. Sony pitched the idea to Sam Raimi and they wanted him to direct it, but he rejected the idea because he was still disappointed on how Sony treated him during the making of Spider-Man 3. However, he did say he was willing to produce it. Sony then asked Mark Webb to direct it, and he immediately agreed to it. The film was canceled for a plethora of reasons, but the main reason being that the film leaked during the 2014 Sony email hack. Sony reportedly wanted to reveal the film themselves and were disappointed once they found out that the film leaked. Unfortunately, we do not know a lot of plot details other than that Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man and Tobey Maguire's were going to battle each other for an unknown reason. It's safe to say that not even a script was made for this film, and I'm kind of personally glad this didn't happen, because if they went through with this, then Spider-Man would have never came to the MCU and No Way Home would have never happened. Our next film we're going to be talking about is called X-Men Fear the Beast. This canceled Fox X-Men movie really hurts. Beast is an underrated character in the Fox X-Men films, and this movie would have truly done his character justice. X-Men Fear the Beast was basically a Beast solo film that specifically focused on Nicholas Holt's version of the character. The film would have featured Wendigo as the villain, and Wolverine would have also had a huge role due to the film taking place primarily in Canada. The X-Men were also going to cameo at several points during the film. To sum the plot up, Beast was going to be temporarily kicked out of the X-Men due to him losing his rage. He would have then gone to Canada to check on his friend Wendigo, whom he hadn't heard from in a while. Wendigo would have lost control and attacked a small village in Canada. Beast would have then teamed up with Wolverine to stop him. Beast was also going to fall in love with a girl from the village, and he was also going to end his relationship with Mystique. This film was canceled because Simon Kinberg refused to read the script because he said he would have been too tempted to cancel Dark Phoenix in order to get this film fast-tracked because he was a big character of the fan of the character Beast. This was a stupid excuse, and Simon Kinberg is just horrible at his job. Our next film we're going to be talking about is Ghost Rider 3. Crystal Sky Pictures reportedly planned for a Ghost Rider 3 film starring Nicolas Cage as Johnny Blaze once again. The film was canned because the rights to the character reverted back to Disney in 2013, and Crystal Sky Pictures couldn't get production up and running in time before the rights expired. No plot details are known, unfortunately. I really hope Mephisto would have been the villain of that, but you never know. Black Cat and Silver Sable. In 2017, Sony Pictures announced that they would be making a solo film focusing on the Spider-Man side characters Black Cat and Silver Sable. They also revealed that this would be the second film in their own Spider-Man-centered Marvel universe. The first film being 2018's Venom, which was in pre-production by the time this film was announced. Black Cat and Silver Sable was set to start shooting in early 2018, and a release date was set for February 8th, 2019. Although this film was canceled for two reasons. The first being that the director of this film, Gina Prince Bythewood, didn't like the new script that Sony gave to her. She said that the original script they gave her was much better and that the new one she was handed was awful. The other reason and most major reason why this film was canceled was because of fan backlash. So many fans online were outraged by the idea of this film being made, as they thought two minor characters from the comics didn't deserve their very own multi-million-dollar film. I still remember coming home from middle school the day this film got announced, and then let's just say I quickly learned how harsh the internet was that day, because I remember commenting in an Instagram post or something, "Oh my gosh, I can't wait for Black Cat and Silver Sable." Yeah, that was not fun for 11-year-old me. Our next film is actually going to be in the MCU, and this is a solo War Machine movie. And you're probably thinking, oh, Armor Wars is coming. I'll get to that just Yeah. A War Machine solo movie is something Marvel Studios has been wanting to do for a long time. The idea first originally popped up after the success of the first Iron Man. Marvel wanted to release it before the first Avengers movie, but the Terrence Howard situation prevented that from happening. Flash forward a couple of years later, and Marvel wanted the film to happen after Captain America's Civil War, but unfortunately every year until Infinity War was booked up in terms of other films. They were also still hesitant on the idea of giving War Machine his own film because they didn't know if audiences truly wanted it. Really, they didn't give War Machine a film, but they gave this a show. However, after the success of Infinity War, Marvel then wanted the film to happen right after Avengers Endgame, and they were going to release it after the Black Widow film in 2020. Unfortunately, that idea also fell through due to unknown reasons. However, this canceled movie does have somewhat of a happy ending. During the 2020 Disney Investors Day, Kevin Feige revealed that an Armor Wars Disney Plus series was now in development and that the show would focus on War Machine as the lead character. It was supposed to release in late 2023, but many scripts were canned and reworked due to unknown reasons. Eventually, Marvel decided to turn Armor Wars into a movie, and the film is now expected to release in late 2026. Although, according to speculation and rumors, Armor Wars won't be a full-on War Machine film. Rhodey will have a big role, but the film will also focus on Ironheart and exiling from Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I personally think a solo War Machine would have been absolutely great during the Infinity Saga, and it's a shame that they are choosing other characters to outshine Rhodey in this new version of this War Machine film. Our next, second to last film we're going to be talking about is not something that's been 100% canceled, but if this film does happen, promise to God, I will see this film 50 times because it's not happening. El Muerto. In early 2022, Sony Pictures announced that they would be making a solo film for the famous Spider-Man antagonist El Muerto, who was featured in a total of 12 comic issues. Yes, he was featured in the comics 12 wonderful, amazing times. Sony even announced that Bad Bunny would be starring as El Muerto and that the film will release on January 12th, 2024, which is actually soon. Unfortunately and devastatingly, El Muerto was taken off Sony's release schedule entirely during summer of 2023. Bad Bunny has also left the role due to scheduling conflicts. Now, like I said, the film hasn't 100% been canceled, but come on now. If this film does happen, yeah, I will see it 50 times. Our last film we're going to be talking about is just one of the most saddening ones. There's no official title for this, but this would have centered around X-Men versus the Fantastic Four, or in other words, Marvel Civil War movie. In the early 2010s, 20th Century Fox planned to create a huge climactic event that culminated and connected every major Marvel character they had the rights to. The plot began with Chris Evans' Johnny Storm fighting Molecule Man. During the fight, stuff starts to get out of control and Johnny accidentally creates a huge explosion which kills a lot of people. This would have been Chris Evans' Human Torch, which would have made a lot of sense considering Chris Evans was about to star as Captain America. Anyways, a Superhuman Registration Act then comes to fruition and many different superheroes agree and disagree with it. The X-Men would have obviously appeared along with the 2000s Fantastic Four characters. 20th Century Fox also wanted to introduce Deadpool and Daredevil into their Marvel universe using this movie. Eventually, all the heroes would have picked sides and battle each other. However, at the end of the movie, all the heroes would have came to a decision and put their differences aside. The end credit scene would have teased the Skrulls invading Earth and set up a secret invasion storyline. I don't even know if they would have legally been allowed to do that secret invasion thing. Part of me is sad that this didn't happen because an Avengers type level of movie is exactly what 20th Century Fox needed. This movie was canned for a number of reasons, although it was ultimately cut due to the success of X-Men First Class. After the success of that movie, Fox wanted to solely focus on the new prequel X-Men films that they had set up using First Class. Fox wasn't also crazy about bringing back the 2000s Fantastic Four because they thought they were too old now, and the failure of Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer was also a problem. Let me know in the comments if you think this movie would have been a good idea. I'm really interested to see how they would have incorporated Daredevil because he's so much more grounded than the other Fox X-Men characters. But anyways, that's going to conclude the video for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.